All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we start, like always, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem,
HaKadosh. Of course, double honor to the apostles and elders who give most of them will teach and rule well. And peace and blessings be unto you, fellow Akim, your brothers that also push out the sword of truth, faith, and sincerity. And as well as to you, faithful listeners, we say Shalom. And let's do on this video be edifying. Me and the brother here, we're just going to be bringing out certain scriptures on if brothers are in the know, something that happened recently amongst another congregation or another church, which happens pretty much every so often, all right, to the point to where the true, humbly speaking, the true men of the Lord, all right, pretty much have to step in and address what's going on, man, all right, because if you're amongst this other congregation or if you hear something, all right, we have to let essentially the younger flock know, or let the younger flock take heed and to understand that things that are said, things that we utter in our day-to-day lives, they it matters, man. All right, the scriptures talk about the words that proceed out of our mouth is in the power of the power of the tongue. Life and death. Loosely paraphrasing.
Yeah, if I can also say real quick, because part of being in the truth is being born again. And the things that were said by that man from ISUPK, I don't even know his name, but. Hey man, a man may be known by his speech, man. He's speaking. He sounded like somebody that was in the world. He didn't sound like a man of the Lord. He wasn't speaking righteousness at all. He was speaking wickedness. All right, nothing of what he said was edifying. And then he justified it. He said in the spirit of Christ. He mentioned that in the video, the spirit of Christ.
Yeah, we can get. Sorry.
So go ahead.
No, we can get the scripture.
Let me get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was going off basically, and we're just here to, to set the record straight on truth. Truth be told, man, that's off. You can't do the things that he was saying to do.
Mm-hmm.
He was speaking as if he was just another man in the world. That sounded like a man in the world. Speaking. Okay. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Mm-hmm. It says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth.
Yeah, and if brothers don't know, like we said already, if brothers already subscribed to other Akim, I'm pretty sure brothers can watch it if they really want to, be my guest. But either way, if you watch that video, essentially, you had like the brother said, I don't know his name either, but the man from UPK was essentially teaching a church, a congregation, live, doing a lesson, allegedly, I think, and essentially covering what happened, also, if brothers are in the know, or as the apostles say, if brothers have been living under a rock, what happened this past, 2-3 weeks ago now, I think, at the Oscars, all right? You had, of course, Will Smith, Chris Rock, that whole drama, all right? And essentially, he was touching on that, which, and if I want to add as well, first off, and again, they teaching, Christ, they teaching that name, and if they claim to be men of the Lord, why are you talking about, again, something that is just blatantly foolish, man? All right? I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying you're going off talking about it, but here it is. It's a spirit, too. You had the apostle, Elder Ramla made a lesson titled, recent, titled, and the world was distracted, And, of course, when you watch the Elder Apostle's lesson, it's just that. The whole world was distracted on what? That whole stupid, foolish scenario. When here it is, this thing's way bigger thing happening behind the scenes, man. Mm-hmm. All right? Things actually concern prophecy. And here you are, you're talking about touching on something, again, just something foolish, adding on to it, and saying that, Will Smith should have, Chris Rock, all right, should have essentially committed adultery with Will Smith's wife, man. That's essentially what that man said.
Mm-hmm.
Be as it may sound of course it's off, but of course off. Yeah, and the man added on, essentially what in the midst of a congregation you had some people that awkward clap, some people were clapping, some people was not, and it's funny because we can only infer pretty much because it's just wrong, man. Yes. All right, so that's pretty much the what we're touching on to, man. Just that corrupt communication, because essentially what he said was just pretty much is profane. Why would you speak to? You just spoke that into existence in the midst of a lesson, as a joke.
Yeah, as a joke. I mean, yeah. I hope it was a joke because that definitely was not sound advice. Mm-hmm. It says, but but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Right? So the things that this man was saying were not things that are used to edify. You know, he told that man to commit more sins. He told that man to commit sins. Aren't we set to what? To reprove our people, rebuke, and exhort? You know? If you call yourself a teacher, because that's what he calls himself, he believes himself to be a teacher, why is he teaching the wrong things? You know? Because they are, at the end of the day, truth be told,
so like I can get Peter.
Come on. Truth be told, at the end of the day, they're teaching the wrong things over in ISUPK, man. They're teaching you, they're using the scriptures to justify adultery. You see, because even Tazariak, he made a response because he was asked about it, you know, and he made a response. And what was his response? He's using the scriptures to justify adultery, man. All right, which is wrong. It doesn't matter, you know. Even Joseph knew not to do that, you know. When you go back to Genesis, yep. You know, even he knew not to commit adultery with Potiphar's wife, you know. And that was a heathen. You know, he was in the home of a heathen, man. If I can get Corinthians. Yep. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Salakia. Yeah. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. I'm going to start at 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. Right, that's what they're doing. They're handling the word of the Lord deceitfully. They're teaching you to commit sin. The scriptures clearly say to not commit adultery. You see? If I can get that real quick, since I'm already touching on it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the scriptures on adultery. You know, let me get this one real quick in Proverbs. This is Proverbs 6:32. All right, and it reads, "But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul." That's right. If you think you can take the scriptures and justify adultery somehow, some way, you see, now we're not talking about adultery, because, you know, if you want to get technical, we're all adulterers, right, and adulteresses, right, because we're not marrying women that have never been with a man and things like that, right? But these men are not teaching that. They're teaching this man taught adultery as revenge. You see, that's off. You're not supposed to be committing adultery, you know?
Yeah, and in fact, as well, in whichever way he meant it, you know, it's like, because they're not the first time, UPK is not the first time to do, you know, just say something or do something in this case. Yeah, and it's not like he was outright telling you, hey, go commit adultery. I have proof on it that you can go commit adultery. That's not, of course, what he was saying. You know, we're not really, but the fact that these men are going to go out of their way and try to defend it, pass it off as, of course, a classic. It was just a joke, bro. It was just a joke, Ak. You know, if they said that yet, you know, it's just things that you wouldn't even say. All right, and it's fun. It's a spirit too, actually, because, and see, this is why the scriptures talk about examining, you know, self-examination, really filtering yourself to the scriptures. You know, the flock as a whole. As of recent, we had the order of essentially all Great Millstone camps to be tightening up. And essentially being more aware of yourself at onto the highways and hedges, you know, and also when you speak, you know, making sure that you're not rambling on, you know, making sure that you're not really like you know, you're just talking and no scriptures come out for the next 25 minutes. You see, right. That, and I gotta be honest, from when because I'm not gonna watch UPK lessons, but I mean, just from watching that lesson alone, it pretty much looks like he was rambling, you know. And look what that came of. After all that rambling came out of, you know, just Satan.
Wickedness.
All right, yeah, wickedness. All right, that corrupt sayings, and you saying something stupid. And again, the topic was just something so foolish, you know. If anything, I'll consider that old news anyway, you know. Right.
Yeah, at that, you know, all these different important things that's happening, that's what comes out your mouth. Because truth be told, man, all these different prophecies are happening, and then they decide to talk about, you know, Will Smith slapping
Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock. Whatever his name is, who cares? You know, these are irrelevant people to us. Truth be told, you know. Of course, we know of and see these things, but they're irrelevant. You know, what matters is Yahweh Shem Yahushua in this ministry. It's Leviticus 20:10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death. Right? Because you're not supposed to commit adultery. No matter what a man says you're not supposed to commit adultery. All right, you're not supposed to knowingly do those things on purpose, especially not for revenge. All right, this is let me see. Second Timothy's, I'm gonna get this real quick. 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, which is like a teaching, right? For reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God, or the Most High, may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Right? That's what we're supposed to use the word of the Lord for, not to handle it deceitfully, not to teach you the wrong things. You know? Because what? Ultimately, we're not here to curse them out. We're here to tell you, hey, look, they're going off. That's it. You know, it's that simple. Okay? They're teaching the wrong thing, and stay away from them. You know? The scriptures say, mark those which cause division, right? To scopeo them, watch them. You know? They're teaching the wrong things. They're teaching you to commit adultery. You see? For revenge.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I got something else as well. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and 17. This is, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the Most High? I remember the scriptures also talk about what? You know, every idle word, all right, you're going to have to take account thereof, man. In that day, all right, Hamashiach Yahushua comes back, if you're even calling him by his actual name. All right, which we're not even going to get into all that, man. All right, enough is enough. The crimes, sometimes the offenses, it just can make brothers' head spin, man. You know, but nevertheless, I'm just get Peter's as well. Unless you have something else.
No, go ahead, bro.
This is 1 Peter's 5 and 1. I'm just read through. It says, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, Salakia, and a witness of the sufferings of Hamashiach Yahushua, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. All right, it says, feed the flock of the Most High which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And if I can add as well, the scriptures always talk about this word, of course, being likened unto water, right? And also the doctrine, all right? It's also likened unto many different things that's associated with water as well, like the cisterns, all right? You can read that. You can read about that in Proverbs, the 5th chapter, man. All right, so what? Essentially, the different cisterns out there, all right? The different other necessities of life, there's many, all right? But ultimately, there's what? There's one road, there's one cistern, there's one water, all right? One type of honey that you can eat, all right? And the scriptures also talk about the works. All right, it's also the works thereof that we're going to know about these men. And, of course, case in point, in terms of this video, we're talking about the words that these men uttered. All right? It may not seem like a big deal because, again, it was passed off as a joke. But, again, what? We're men of the Lord, man. We can't play around with things like that. Brothers joke. Of course, brothers joke, man. We're Jake, you know? I want to have a good yuck every now and then, man. All right? But what? Those chuckles, those times where my jaw be hurting, I don't want it to be over something completely wicked, man, and blasphemous.
You don't laugh at adultery. That's a serious thing.
Sin worthy unto death. The brother brought it out.
Yeah, that's con. Yeah, exactly. It's a sin unto death, man. You don't really play around with. You don't play around with stuff like that.
And I want that as well. Again, what it says feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you. And that man was teaching what in front of a congregation, man. All right. And it's so cringy when brothers watch it. You hear some people just a few late claps, man. It's just like some people knew in the congregation, like, hey yo, like I don't know about that.
Read verse 3. I want to break it down real quick.
Yep. Continue on reading verse 3. It says, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being and samples to the flock.
Yeah, being in samples to the flock. You're supposed to be an example to the flock. You know, the scriptures say that a wise man he hideth his folly. You know, that wasn't very wise of that man. You know, that's supposed to be looked at as someone who's teaching. That means he's supposed to be. First off, the word goes double for him when you're teaching, right? Well, he was supposed to know not to say something ridiculous like that. You know, or at least he should have.
Yeah, man. Go out there. You teach. Hey, man, the scriptures say it the best, man. We teach Hamashiach Yahushua crucified. All right, it's total business out there. Yeah, you see brothers laugh it up. Yeah, you see brothers make jokes. But guess what? I'm not a comedian. All right, it's coming from me, and I speak as a man. Brothers are not comedians, man. We're just teachers. You know, we got beautiful spirits out here, but we're out here to teach, man. All right, rather be frowned upon. for the word of the Lord than to laugh it up and, buddy with some random guy on the street, wicked or not,
Yeah.
So
for the record,
yeah.
to be honest, that wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was trying to be funny. I didn't laugh at all.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, yo, brothers, watch that video. He was just stretching the thin line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he was going with that joke, but hey, that man went far. Of course, he went as far as to mention drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What state to get him from?
The best drug, but best drugs out there too. So again, it's just folly. That doesn't need to be put out there, man.
Yeah. Unnecessary, and as someone who's supposed to be born again, because if you're a leader, you're supposed to have been born again, and continue to grow in the spirit. That what on earth? That sounded so worldly. That sounded like someone in the world giving Chris Rock advice. That's what it sounded like to me personally.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna stick to the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point.
All right. So that hopefully the point was made, and Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. The honors to our elders and our apostles, a great millstone, and the men who rule well, men who taught us his truth, and peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.